Hello everyone and welcome to your channel IELTS Perfection. I'm going to dive into IELTS Speaking Part 1. So I'll be covering information and description about the task, strategies, sample question and answer about the topic work, and I'm going to end the video with some useful tips that will surely help you get higher scores. As you greet the examiner, he introduces himself and asks you to introduce yourself and confirm your identity, like your passport, driver's license, or identification card. There are a number of questions that the examiner asks before Part 1 begins. These questions are not a part of the test, and they are not assessed. In IELTS Speaking Part 1, which lasts about 4 to 5 minutes, you will answer around 10 to 11 simple personal questions. These usually start with a few questions about yourself, followed by questions on two common topics like family, work, or hobbies. It's a chance to show off your fluency and comfort with everyday English. Now let's go to strategy. Number 1. Know and use the vocabulary to talk about yourself in everyday life. Number 2. Use the correct verb tenses. And number 3. Try to elaborate on your responses and extend your answers. Now it's time to cover question and answers about the topic work.
Are you working or studying?
I am currently working as a manager at one of the leading chocolate manufacturing companies in my country.
How long have you been working for this company?
I have been working for this company for almost 3 years in the same position. However, I have 6 years of professional experience in total.
Describe the company or organization you work for.
I work for the Energy Development Corporation, EDC. It is a company that focuses on the development of renewable energy.
What are your job responsibilities?
I have varieties of responsibilities like developing a strong working relationship with internal and external partners, implementing and influencing the best practices within the supply chain department, facilitating the internal approval process for importing/exporting products, raw materials, and working with third-party transportation groups, distribution centers and store operations team in order to forecast store delivery effectively and efficiently, among other responsibilities.
What do you like about work you do?
I like a number of things about my job, but it is the challenge that I really like about my job the most. In fact, I never have a dull moment at my job since I have been given the authority to try new things to improve the supply chain process of the company. Another thing that I really like about working at my company is that it makes me feel important since I am allowed to voice my concerns and opinions without any fear.
What do you dislike about your job?
Conducting projects in far-flung areas means being away from my family for several days. Thus, I don't spend a lot of time with my wife and kids. I miss them so much.
What would be your ideal job?
My ideal job is something that always brings something new to life, not a repetitive, monotonous work. I am good at my responsibilities, but I also expect some pleasant moments at my workplace.
What do you do in a typical day at work?
I mostly research different softwares and try to understand what the market leaders of a particular software are doing. I document their strong and weak points and then call a meeting to describe my findings. Then I take feedback from the developers and other senior managers to finalize my software requirement. I often attend meetings with my CEO and team members to track the progress of a project.
What are you doing these days?
You mean in my office, right? In my office, I am working on requirement creation for a large software, and I need to report the progress every day to the team lead. Apart from that, I am writing a PDF manual for a client.
Why did you choose that kind of work?
Well, being a business analyst was not my initial career plan. I started my career as a programmer. While I worked with another large software company, they promoted me to this position and I found it more challenging and demanding. I started enjoying my work and then decided to work as a business analyst. The business analyst position of a company requires these kinds of works and the responsibilities are equally demanding and challenging. I think I chose to work in this position initially because I was promoted to this position, but I have continued this position because I enjoy my work.
And here in this section, I provided you with a number of vocabularies that you can use in your responses. To finish off, here are a few key tips you'll want to remember. Number 1. Focus on accuracy and fluency. Do not hesitate or stop while you're answering. Number 2. Do not give very long answers. Answers should be 2 to 4 sentences long. Number 3. One-word answers are not enough. Make complete sentences. Number 4. Do not memorize the answers. Memorized answers will make it more difficult for you to handle the talk. Number 5. Ask for repetition if you don't understand a question for the first time. Number 6. When you're talking about your favorite stuff, never say my most favorite. That's totally wrong. Number 7. Try not to give short yes/no answers, but elaborate on your responses with providing reasons and causes. Number 8. Keep in mind that your use of English is much more important than the length of the answer. And number 9. You will only be assessed on your English language skills, not on the content of what you actually say. Every effort counts. Keep pushing forward and shine bright. See you in the next lesson.